Okay, so welcome everyone. This is our presentation of Beyond the Lesson, reinforcing the K-5 second step school-wide. I want to say thank you so much again for joining me today. This is really a nice, exciting time in second step. We have some wonderful resources that I'm excited to share with you. Here's our brief agenda for today. We are going to do just a bit of introduction and a little history and information about Committee for Children. I'm going to do just a really tiny bit about what is SEL and why should we teach it. We are going to do a very, very brief overview of the second step program itself, so you'll get to see that. And then we're going to talk about the school-wide tools and mindfulness, and then the family resources. So again, I will definitely answer your questions at the end. All right. So thank you everyone for being here. My name is Jennifer Sanderlin. I am a territory manager with Committee for Children, of course, and I get to work with schools and districts throughout the country, but my area is in the southern part of the United States. I'm very happy and excited to work with schools, districts, and early learning programs to support social emotional learning, bullying prevention, and child abuse prevention. In my former life, before this, I was a teacher and a nonprofit director and working with after school and early learning. So lots of experience working with kids and professionals in the field. So this is really, really rewarding work for me. Before we get started on today's topic, I do want to give you just a little bit about Committee for Children for those of you who are not familiar. We are a nonprofit based in Seattle, Washington, with a mission to foster the safety and well-being of children through social emotional learning. We are pioneers leading the field with our uniquely comprehensive approach, using solid research and connections to experts in the field. We bring resources to schools and districts that make a difference in the lives of students and schools and communities. We are also a force in advocacy to help pass policies and legislation to support SEL, bullying prevention, and child protection at the state and federal level. We are best known, and you all know us, I imagine, since you're joining me on this webinar, for our program Second Step that helps us to reach more than 14 million children every year in over 70 countries worldwide and in all 50 states. We are very proud to reach this many children and impact those communities around the world, but we know that we couldn't do that without the educators that deliver our programs and bring SEL to life. So thank you for all of your efforts to help make our mission a reality. So what we do, as you hopefully know since you signed up for this webinar, is the Second Step program, not just better students, better people. And that is our flagship program that really holds together all of our other resources that support social emotional learning, bullying prevention, and child protection, which I'm going to go into today. And then we also have our program called Mind Yeti. It is really embraced by teachers and parents around the world, and children, of course. It helps kids and adults to get their mind ready, whether it's time to calm down, to focus, or go to sleep. Mind Yeti is our mindfulness tool that can help settle the hubbub around school and at home. And I'm going to share with you more about Mind Yeti today. So for those of you who are not familiar with Committee for Children and our history, since we began in 1981, nearly 40 years, a lot has happened. Many people also ask why our program is called Second Step. So I'll just give you the short and quick answer. The reason it is called Second Step is because as an organization, Committee for Children first began our work in studying the effects of child abuse and child sexual abuse, and developed our program called Talking About Touching, some of you might remember. Once we launched that program to help prevent abuse from happening to kids, we wanted to prevent children from growing up to be abusers themselves by building the skills like empathy, self-regulation, and managing emotions. So our first step was to help what was happening to kids now, and our second step was to help prevent it from happening in the future. So after talking about touching, and Second Step were created, we revised things over the years and wanted to pinpoint and teach skills that would help kids as they face a different type of abuse, which is bullying. So that's where our Steps to Respect program, you may remember, was created to help address that, to address bullying. So, and then as we created and revised additionally over the years, that's how we came to our K-5 Second Step Suite, which is our SEL program, bullying prevention and child protection as one cohesive system that you can bring into your schools to address all three. Okay, so enough about us. I want to dive in a little bit. I'm so excited to share with you some of the resources that will help supplement Second Step SEL program and engage students, teachers, and families. But first, I just want to take a couple slides to share with you some of the research that is out there to help make the case for SEL. So especially if you are charged with leading the SEL initiative in your school or district, these slides will be included in your follow-up email, and they may help you to spread the message. So for those of you that are new to Second Step in teaching SEL, this research that I'm going to share with you in the next couple slides may also be helpful in getting your new staff on board. All right, so first I want to share with you a bit of research that was really landmark research in our field to put numbers to where many educators, probably all of you, know that SEL supports students' success in school. So the results you see here from a meta-analysis that was done in over 213 studies was looking at all of those studies together of schools that implemented a universal SEL intervention. What they found were some of those really, obvious skills we hope would happen: social emotional skills, attitudes, and pro-social behavior. But there was also an 11% gain in academic achievement, and that was on average. So, I don't know a principal or teacher or a parent or a child out there that wouldn't benefit from or be happy about an 11% gain on average. We also see some results from the studies that helped students with reductions in problem behavior and emotional distress, which also allows teachers more time to focus on teaching in the classroom, a more positive classroom environment for all students, and not just the ones who may be struggling, but also more positive and proactive time for administrators and counselors and social workers to spend more time in ways they can support their students, but also their teachers. Okay, so just so you know kind of the way we look at things, SEL is a critical building block. A school-wide social emotional learning program is really the foundation to creating that positive school climate. So students with stronger social emotional skills and adults who can model those skills, they help to create improved relationships, which then increases a sense of safety and support and creates that positive school climate. The last thing I want to share with you today, really briefly, is just a study that helps kind of look at what do teachers think. This was a study that was done in 2013 that asked teachers around the country what they thought about teaching SEL in their schools. And what they found was that 97% of teachers believe that SEL will benefit students from all backgrounds, but that only 44% said that SEL skills were being taught on a school-wide programmatic basis. So this tells us that teachers, who are often seen as kind of a barrier to teach SEL because their plates are so full and there doesn't seem to be a lot of time in the schedule, this tells us that teachers really do support teaching SEL and that they see the benefit of teaching it to all students. So there are links to both of those studies that I shared with you on our website on secondstep.org. So again, I'm just going to give a really brief overview, I guess, of what is included in the SEL program. Since you're joining me for this webinar, I'm going to assume that you're somewhat familiar with Second Step since we're talking about beyond the lesson. But I did include a few slides here as a refresher and as a high-level overview, maybe for those of you who are still considering bringing in the program. For those of you who are already implementing, this might be helpful for you in the work you do to champion the program. So when you're out talking to families or talking to staff in other buildings, this will help you to talk about what children are learning as they're using the Second Step program. So I will also briefly cover our additional units that are available, the bullying prevention unit and the child protection unit, in case you haven't expanded outside of the Second Step SEL kit and want to begin to address those issues in your schools. So Second Step is a universal classroom-based program. It is designed for teachers to teach in classrooms or counselors to push in for all students. It's meant for a Tier 1 solution if you're doing a tiered system of approach to supporting students. It is designed to promote social-emotional competence, of course, and also self-regulation. It helps to decrease problem behaviors while at the same time increasing student school success. So here's just a look at the resources that come in the program, in this SEL program. Of course, we have the lessons themselves. They're scripted, explicit instruction. There are colorful posters, the teaching materials notebook. For the younger students, there are puppets, and then songs, DVDs with videos, and then online resources. So you'll get the CDs and DVDs, or you have them in your kits already, but we also have a streaming option now. So if you have been using the program for a while and you didn't know that, then here's the great news for you to use the streaming media. All you need to do is register your kit, go online, and you can find the media, videos and songs and photos that can help you to teach the program more seamlessly and online, in case that you don't have a DVD player on your computer, which most people don't seem to anymore. So here's just a brief look at the program skills and topics, the skills for learning, empathy, emotion management, and problem solving. We also have our additional units of bullying prevention and child protection, as I mentioned. So briefly about those additional units, we have the bullying prevention unit. They are additional 5 extra lessons. I should mention too, if you are new to the program with the SEL lessons, there are 22 to 25 lessons in total for the SEL portion. So we're bringing in the bullying prevention unit, and that is an additional 5 lessons that really specifically covers bullying prevention strategies. So it is not designed to be taught by itself. It is designed to be taught on top of and with the Second Step SEL program. So you would fold in those extra 5 lessons as you teach the program with Second Step SEL skills. The skills that the students are learning in the bullying prevention unit is to be safe and respectful, how to recognize bullying, what is it and what is it not. Sometimes that's more important. How to report, and then how to refuse, how to be assertive and to refuse bullying, and then how to be a bystander who helps. So that's kind of in brief. Both the bullying prevention unit and the child protection unit offer a school-wide staff training that comes with the program as well, that helps teach similar skills, recognizing and reporting and then responding to students. So the students will be learning those skills, but the staff will learn how to manage that and how to make sure that they're responding appropriately. So once we, teach kids how to do this, we need to be ready to take those reports. So our additional unit on child abuse prevention, our child protection unit, is similar structure to the bullying prevention unit in that it has separate notebooks with additional 6 lessons. This is available from early learning to grade 5. So if you do have pre-K students, you can include them in the child protection unit. This is our program to help students to address their safety, their personal safety. But again, we have a training for teachers so that they can learn how to see the signs of abuse, to recognize when they need to report and to respond and help those students in a trauma-informed way. So that training helps us, again, once we teach the students the skills on how to keep themselves safe, we need to be ready to take those reports and to support them. So it starts with general safety rules and then goes into personal safety strategies. We always ask first rule, touching safety, and never keeping secrets. So you can find out a lot more about the additional units in our separate webinars that are directly about both of those. You can also find tons of resources on secondstep.org, including some sample lessons. So if you want to actually try one out, you can get online and see one of those lessons and maybe even teach it to see what you think of the program. Okay, so I do want to give a little nod to our online training I mentioned for the Second Step bullying prevention and child abuse prevention, those training modules. But I also want to highlight our online training for our SEL program. So if you've just started the program and you just received your kits and you're going to get going, then be sure to register those kits because you can access the training. It's unlimited online training and support to help you to introduce the Second Step program, including those core SEL skills. You can also find out about the research, a lot more in depth than what I'm talking about today, how to successfully launch, teach, and assess the program, and then how to understand how to reinforce the skills outside of lesson time, which is really my focus today as well. So I want to just also highlight what's on secondstep.org. I do find often when I'm talking to our partners and clients out there that they often don't even realize that there's an online resource center that's just for our program users. We have our website. You just need to register your kits. Those codes can be shared and they are inside the first page of the teaching notebook. So if you haven't registered, please do that. Go in and explore. You can find that streaming media. You can find video examples and classroom demonstration. There are also Spanish translations. So if you want to teach the program in Spanish or you want to send out resources to families, everything that is available for K-5, both the SEL program and the additional units, is translated into Spanish. So you can get that, and it's for free. So the only thing you may want to purchase would be some Spanish posters. We have those online, and then some of the feelings cards and things like that for early learning are also available. So that's just extra to help reinforce. We have those staff training resources I mentioned. There's also some teaching and implementation tools, and then the family resources I'm going to talk a little bit more about here in a moment. Okay, so for school-wide tools, this is really the important message I want to give you today, is just that teaching Second Step as a school-wide effort is really the highest impact that you can have. Teaching, lessons kind of here and there, pushing into classrooms, that's obviously still going to really help your students. It is something that they can benefit no matter what. But teaching on a school-wide level can really help to solidify those skills, to reinforce those skills, to create a community of kindness, to have your schools be a place that your students are welcome, they feel supported and safe, and your families feel the same way. So one of the things that we have developed to help with school-wide implementation is our Principal Toolkit. So again, if you've been teaching a while and you're kind of looking at what else is available, this is something I highly recommend. It was created because principals and others really asked us to make a resource that would help principals to be engaged and make it easier for them to lead the way with SEL in their schools. So I'm going to show you a quick video actually that gives you a tour of what's in the Second Step Principal Toolkit.
The field of social emotional learning has recognized that best practice implementation of Second Step or any social emotional learning curriculum is very heavily dependent on the leadership of the principal. Committee for Children recognizes the importance of principal leadership, so much so that we have now developed a Principal Toolkit for the Second Step program. The Principal's Toolkit is intended to be a very concrete, structured tool that will help a principal go through the entire year of Second Step along with the classroom teachers who are teaching the program. One of the really neat things about the Principal Toolkit is that it provides tools for the principal to more deeply engage staff in Second Step content, to engage families in the community with Second Step content, and to engage students individually as well as at the classroom and school-wide level through assemblies and morning announcements, as well as a tool that helps them with office referrals. And so it gives the principal tools to address all of those various people that they interact with at various levels.
Okay, so hopefully that video was helpful. If you've never seen the Principal Toolkit as a resource, what's in it, Juliet mentioned in the video, are the scripted all-staff orientations for if you'd like to do a kickoff, and then for following up, there are staff meeting activities to keep SEL top of mind and to keep the Second Step program as something that everyone in the school is doing together and can connect with each other, sharing success stories and helping people to just be really connected to the content, to knowing what's in the program so they can really engage with their students. There's those weekly morning announcements, scripts for school assemblies, and then the office referral conversation guide. Now, I do want to say that principals are the leaders in schools, and they are one of the, or really the driving factor in a school-wide effort. But we also know that the Principal Toolkit can be used, might be a resource that's helpful for counselors and for social workers, school psychologists, behavior interventionists, people that, really are working with this content. So I just recommend this Principal Toolkit, and you could use it as a school-wide tool, even if the principal really isn't able to do all of these things. It helps to make sure that that it can be done. We also have some other fun things to help keep SEL in mind. We've got bookmarks and teacher lanyards that have the skill steps just in brief. That's kind of nice for doing things in the moment, folders, pencils. And then we do have some books that we've partnered with an organization called Art with Heart, and they have various topics, things like grief, bullying, self-esteem. So do check that out if you're looking for a way, especially for counselors and school social workers. Those are great. Those books are very helpful for maybe some of your small groups, interventions, and even one-on-one things. So these visuals are just a great way to help students use their skills, in the moment outside of lesson time. So next, I'd like to introduce you to our mindfulness effort and our mindfulness program. Mindfulness has really become a hot topic in the nation for adults, really around the world, for adults and children alike. Mindfulness activities really can be a wonderful addition to your second step implementation. But mindfulness can also be a buzzword, that people may or may not understand. So I actually have a really great video that you could use as well to send this message out to anyone who, if you're thinking of bringing mindfulness into your school and want them to help understand it a little bit better and how it can boost social emotional skills. So I'm going to go ahead and load that video into the video player.
Mindfulness is about bringing your attention to the present moment with kindness and curiosity. It's bringing a non-judgmental approach to every moment. Given that mindfulness has shown promise in helping children develop a sense of calm, a sense of focus, and being connected or showing empathy and compassion to others. All of those things really benefit the students in the classroom. It really helps them learn and get along with other students. Both social emotional learning and mindfulness share some common goals, if you like, but of course they're very different in the sense that social emotional learning is about direct instruction of skills such as listening, empathy, compassion, managing emotions, whereas mindfulness is really about an embodied experiential practice where you're actually taking moments to really experience your breath, for example, or thinking about how to bring kindness into your life with other people or towards yourself. To give a clear example to show how the two complement each other, a good example is breathing. Teaching kids directly how to use breathing, particularly deep-centered breathing, as a way to manage strong emotions would happen in a social emotional learning curriculum. Mindfulness, on the other hand, has kids learn to just become aware of their breath. And that helps them then know if their breathing is fast or maybe agitated because they've learned to notice their breath. And then they've learned the skill within the social emotional learning to apply and to calm down their breathing.
Okay, so hopefully that kind of puts some clarity around that, mindfulness and SEL and how they go together. So I do want to introduce to you, those of you who are not familiar, our mindfulness program for classrooms and for individual kids and parents and community, anyone who might benefit. We always say that the Mind Yeti is for kids and their adults, so whoever those may be. They are guided mindfulness sessions to help kids to calm down, to focus their attention, and to get ready for what's coming next. So they're short. It could be daily sessions of maybe 5 to 6 minutes, really helping teachers to manage their classroom and to boost those second step skills. It is free to sign up at mindyeti.com. There are 15 sessions that you can choose from that are free. And then if you like, you can also upgrade to our premium account, either individually or as a school. You can see the pricing on the slide here. You can get subscription for all of your teachers in your school to use this tool in their classrooms. It's a great way to get kids kind of centered again after coming from the playground or lunchtime, maybe helping them to be focused before a test. A lot of good opportunities to use mindfulness. And so the topics are, things that will help them to reset, to focus, to create or calm down, and even go to sleep. So we would love for you to promote this out to your families to help them understand what mindfulness is and how it works. I do want to show you just a quick video, and I know we're running short on time, but I wanted to show you a really quick video that actually introduces the idea of mindfulness to students so you can get a flavor of the program and how it works. And this is a video you would show to students, and then the actual mindfulness sessions are not videos, they're just an audio experience so that they can really be centered in their own experience, as Bridget said in the video. So here comes that video to show you how we talk to kids about mindfulness.
Your mind is amazing. It's filled with all kinds of thoughts, feelings, and sensations. Thoughts that help you figure things out, like your homework. Feelings that can change your mood. And sensations from your body that tell you things like you're hungry. We call these thoughts, feelings, and sensations hububbles. Sometimes, though, the hububbles can get pretty distracting. Isn't that right, Yeti? We call this the hubbub. The hubbub makes everything harder than it needs to be. Yep, the hubbub can be a real pain in the brain. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can settle the hubbub with Mind Yeti. Listening to Mind Yeti can strengthen your mind and settle the hubbub. You'll learn to calm your mind, focus your attention, and connect better to the people and world around you. Settle the hubbub and get your mind ready with Mind Yeti.
Okay, well, hopefully that video gives you a flavor of how we talk to kids about mindfulness and the ways that it can help them. I just love that video. I think it's really cute and it's engaging and it will get kids, their interest piqued. I did have a question that came in I wanted to answer since we're in this, and maybe it was answered by Bridget in the video about mindfulness. But the question is, how is mindfulness program different from belly breathing as it's taught in the second step SEL? And so hopefully that was answered, but I'll just make sure that it is. And the Mindfulness Mind Yeti program is short little daily audio, could be daily, I guess, 5 or 6 minute audio sessions that kids listen to. You would play that as a classroom, and then, they would listen to that and all the various topics you see here on the slide. So it is a complement to the belly breathing, because breathing in the program, in the second step SEL program, is really integral to the calming down steps. So kids would already know that skill once you get to that in the program, which is pretty early on, in the sense that, they'll learn the breathing technique and then they can use it all the time. So it's a way to practice those skills that they would be learning in the second step SEL program. I hope that answers the question. So let me just end our time today with family resources. I want to make sure that I, give you what's available so you could use that. As with any curriculum or program initiative in your schools, we know that it's important that families understand what their children are learning. And especially with our 2 additional units, the bullying prevention unit and the child protection unit, those are sort of hot topics, could be really touchy topics. And so being able to communicate with families is going to be pretty important, especially for those topics being sensitive. So there are family letters for each grade. There are also home link activities for every lesson. Those are, not really homework. They're more like a take-home activity. There are online videos to help home conversations. I'm going to show you a screenshot of those in just a minute. There is a family section on secondstep.org. And just a note, too, to remind you that the family letters and the home links are also translated into Spanish. So if that's important to you. I know as I'm visiting schools and districts out and about, I know that I often get asked if there's going to be other languages that we will translate into. And at this point, I don't know. I don't think it's on the immediate plan. So for now, it's Spanish, and we hope you'll find those tools, the translations useful. They are free, so you don't need to worry about paying extra for that. It just comes with it. Okay, so online family resources are there. Also on our cfchildren.org, our Committee for Children website. It has some bullying prevention, child abuse prevention, and some free SEL activities. So I hope that you would, check out the cfchildren.org website sometime soon as well. So I mentioned those home conversations, and that's actually another thing that's outside of the Second Step Kit and outside, beyond the lessons. Whether you decide to teach the Child Protection Unit or not, we have a website called earlyopenoften.org, and that is actually a specific website for families to start talking to their students early, to talk about it openly, and to talk about it often. And so you can see there's some short little video segments on these various topics. I know it's kind of small writing, but it's age appropriate so that parents can watch these videos to learn how to talk to their students about child abuse and especially about sexual abuse. These are not easy topics, so we want to make it really as user-friendly and focused on safety versus sexuality as possible. We also have what we call sort of maybe a little bit lighter version of that in our hot chocolate talk. And that is public awareness resources that we've put out there. The idea is that you could just get the conversations going over a cup of hot cocoa with your child. So there's some videos and some resources that are just a little bit simpler on that website, hotchocolatetalk.org. And then I also, again, I'll just highlight that we do have those resources for families and educators on our Committee for Children website, cfchildren.org. So I want to go ahead and open it up for questions. I know I'm running late, so thank you so much for those of you who stuck around. I took a little bit extra time at the beginning to take care of some of the technology things. So I'm going to go ahead and look at the questions right now in the chat box and see what I can answer. So I do have a question about the bullying prevention unit. The question is that, do you need to purchase the K-5 bullying prevention unit as a K through 5 set? Can you purchase them individual grade levels? And the answer is yes, you can. They are all individual. All grade levels are individual for all of our programs, by the way. So if you're, it's a program that builds on each other, so grade level by grade level, also lesson by lesson, but they are grade level specific, so you would have the opportunity to get those individually if you want to. That's true for the Child Protection Unit as well, so if you wanted to do that, you can plug those in, even if you just wanted to maybe try out a grade level or two. Yes, that's definitely possible. I did also have a question about the CDs and DVDs about transitioning to using those resources that are online, and a question about the additional cost. When we first launched our streaming media option about, 2 years ago now, maybe, it was a subscription model. You did have to pay a little extra to get that. And now, since January of 2018, it's been included in the program. So you get it automatically whenever you purchase a kit now, or if you already have a kit in your classrooms. So all they need to do is go online, register the kit. If they've already done that, then they'll just go to my dashboard and they can access the streaming media. It should be really easy to find. It's right there in the dashboard. So if you have any trouble finding that, or finding anything, or needing really anything, we definitely are here to support you. It is, our mission to bring these programs to students, and we know that can't happen without all of you who are teaching it. And so we want to make sure it's as easy as possible to do that. Our client relations professionals are here to support your plans for SEL at your school, They can help you to develop those implementation plans, to assist staff who teach second step lessons. You can contact us anytime. There's the email on the screen right now. We are available by phone Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. Of course, you can always visit the website. If ever you're on the website and you can't find what you're looking for, just please use that search box. It's very sophisticated, and it can help you find what you're looking for. I do also want to mention that if you are just looking at the program and you're still not sure if this is something you want to bring to your school or district, particularly district-wide implementation plans, please do also give us a call and let us know. We'll connect you to the right person for you to potentially do an online overview like this one, customized to whatever it is you need, especially if you're on a task force or a committee. We're always happy to really make sure people understand what the Second Step program is and SEL and how it can help support your classrooms and your students in your community. So I'm just looking through to make sure we don't have any other questions. Oh, I do also want to mention we have a YouTube channel as well, and that may be an easier place to even to find the videos you're looking for. So go to YouTube and search Second Step, and you'll find all of our videos on Second Step YouTube channel as well. All right. Well, thank you so much for those of you who are able to join me today. We appreciate you spending your valuable time learning about the ways that you can boost SEL beyond the Second Step lessons, and for all the hard work that you do every day to support children and youth in your world, whatever it is that you do and wherever you are, to succeed in school and in life. We appreciate you, and I hope that you'll join us for another webinar in the future. Have a wonderful rest of your day, everyone. Goodbye.